Hey, good morning, everyone. I have noticed this in my personal life that whenever I record a video at the morning, it often sounds better than when I record it at the evening or at night. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss about Bleach. I recorded one audio before regarding the review and my opinions about Bleach. But in this video, I'm going to be clarifying my own opinions a bit more. It's going to be my better attempt. So let's first of all give me like a brief synopsis of this anime Bleach. So there is something called the big three in anime culture, which basically refers to the biggest three anime, referring to Naruto, One Piece, and at the fifth position there is Bleach. Now, there are some like disagreements between fans that which one should be at the top. Is it One Piece, Naruto, or Bleach? Some say Bleach, some say like it's, One Piece, whatever. It's fans' opinion, like you can't argue with them. But in any case, I thought, I have a lot of free time at my hand and there's like so much to do at one time, right? So, what better to do than watch something good? Like, let's finish Bleach. So I got started with it, and from the very start, like from the very beginning of the show, it was really good. It was fast paced. The story was really nice, like the way it was moving, very amazing. Um, with that being said, I also came across a lot of like redundant and boring shit, like things I would very much like to criticize about, you know. And I also like try to search videos that discuss the same points that I thought I felt, and there were a lot of videos, and they're just getting hate, man. So I'm just even like, I'm afraid. I think I'm gonna get cooked in the fucking comments. But in any case, let's start with the good parts of the Bleach. So first of all, I really like the character designs. The characters in Bleach is, I think, the most beautiful out of big three. Like undoubtedly, every character looks like really, really good. Like the even the black characters, like in anime, we don't see often good, like nicely written, nice looking black characters. But in Bleach, there's a lot, and they're really defined, likable characters. Often in media, when we come across black characters, they're not that likable. Like I think it's a media thing. It's a like a media propaganda type of shit. But they try to portray black characters out of like nowhere. Black characters will just appear out of nowhere. For example, in Naruto, the Stone Villages, I think it is, like from there, suddenly a plethora of black characters come by the end of the show, and their power-ups are crazy. Like they're using lightning and shit, and they're super powerful, like Raikage shit. Raikage or something. I forgot the name actually. That big black dude, who's beating Sasuke. So when you don't develop a character and just bring randomly them into the story, it's bad writing. But Bleach doesn't have that. Bleach has a lot of good characters. For example, that black captain, uh, as well as like one of the friends of Ichigo. Ichigo is the main character in this anime, if you don't know. So these characters and their designs mostly, like all of the black and like the main characters look so pretty and like likable, lovable. So that's a major prop for this anime. Next, I would say the style of animation that Bleach has is quite pleasant. It's not over the top. To be really honest, I don't like Jujutsu Kaisen type 3D, like super defined, bright animation. Although some people like it, I don't judge them, but it feels like overdue to me. Like it's being overdone. That's what I feel. Like when I'm watching an anime, I'm not trying to see like a hyper realistic, real movie. The whole point is it has to look picturesque to me. Like, what's up with making animes feel like fucking 3D bullshit? Like, just look at Dragon Ball Z, like movies. The movies that come out. The last one I saw was like that thing where Gohan got like a huge power up, beast mode, I think it's called. That movie's animation is ass. Like I hate that like the realistic 3D type animation that is being like forced upon us so many animes. Like even in the later like sequences of Bleach, which are called Thousand Year Blood Wars. Like I think there's 3 or 4 seasons of that. They don't have like so many episodes, like small series, okay? But their animation is not comparable to the main series. The main series is old and they're like kind of new and flashy, which that's like a that's like a double-edged sword to me. But in anyways, Bleach's animation is good. It's genuinely good. It doesn't like poke in your eye by its hyper details or anything, but it doesn't lack any details as well. It's really surreal. It's really good. And you know, on the first point of me talking about character designs, Bleach's characters really get good looking like power ups, The dresses they wear at every stage is really good. Like the power ups that Ichigo had, our main character. The dresses he got, like, I really like Ichigo's dresses, Like the, type of shit he wears and his sword and everything. Aesthetically, Bleach is like top. There's no fucking doubt in it. So that's it. And like, I think I'm afraid that like those are the major props for Bleach. Like, I can't see any more better points if I compare Bleach with Naruto and Jujutsu Kaisen and other animes I watched. Like, if you just solely take Bleach as a piece of analysis, perhaps then you can find a lot of things to appreciate about it. But if you put it in like contrast with Naruto and other like good animes, there is, I think, no more things to mention here at the good parts because all of those animes like Naruto has good characters. I would even argue in the later parts of this video that Naruto has better foreshadowing for like major reveals and characters and better story building than Bleach and a better story than Bleach, to be honest. So, that's that. So, if we compare it to other animes, then I think there is the end of the good points, those major 2 points. They're not negligible in any way, but I can't like lie to myself and lie to you guys to say that I believe there is more to it. So there ends the good points. Now let's talk about the bad points, things that I didn't like about Bleach. And I'm afraid there's a lot of them. I perhaps should have. I have to fucking name this video Bleach is trash. I'm afraid. Whatever. So the first major like letdown for Bleach to me, I would say, is the number of filler episodes. I watched Naruto. Like a Naruto watcher cannot complain about like filler episodes. But man, Naruto fillers are fucking better than Bleach fillers if you even fucking watch them. Like Bleach fillers are so disconnected from the like main thing. Like like literally by the end of the show there will be like a very interesting arc between, I'm not gonna like reveal the name, but that arc was so fine. Like a peak fight was happening. And amidst of all of that, all of a sudden like fucking Christmas starts. Like you go back to the fucking Soul Society and there like you witness a new captain getting, like introduced to the squads and shit like that. Like where did that come from? Like do something at least, like what the fuck is up? And those of you who don't know what filler episodes are, they're basically some episodes that has nothing to do with the freaking main series. They're just there for covering time because when the anime was running, the anime like literally caught up to the manga, which is the source material. So anime cannot exceed the source material. Source material needs to have time to produce more of it for the anime to adapt that. So to bridge that gap, animators often put these like in the case of Bleach, there's like a huge jump of like episode 68 to 128, shit like that, like huge filler arcs that you just if you just skip those arcs, you will like literally miss nothing out of the main story, and that's it. So according to one website, like Anime Filler List website, you'll see there's like 44% fillers in this anime, which is like astonishing. There's like 366 episodes, and 44%, meaning like 150 plus episodes of this anime is filler, nothing to do with the main story. Major letdown. I at least hoped that Bleach would gonna have like less fillers. No fillers. I expected that. What a disappointment. Well, that was my first, reason to throw it in a trash can type of shit. But on the second point, I would say Bleach has a huge power scaling problem. Like people complain about Dragon Ball Z having power scaling problem, but Bleach has the same problem, even worse, because Dragon Ball Z is, I think, like a multi-franchise, a very big story. So it will not like poke in your eyes the like contrast of characters hypocritically getting more power, just out of nowhere for the sake of the art, you know. So what I mean by that is in Bleach, you're gonna find characters, for example, Rukia Kuchiki, whom you're gonna see at the first fucking episode, like fighting with a hollow, which are just basically monsters, okay? And that like girl Rukia is not able to kill that hollow. Like she's fucking injured. Like literally, if you compare that hollow, that monster with the later parts of the show and the monsters that we see in the later parts of the show, that monster is literally nothing. Because by the end of the show, they're like one-shotting like thousands of those monsters at a time. Rukia herself. And we don't see her train, we don't see her do anything significant for getting that power up. So at the beginning of the show, Rukia literally cannot fight that weak ass fucking monster. And let me say it out loud, like she was supposed to be a lieutenant who are like after the captains. Captains are like the majors, the not major actually, the generals of the Soul Society, the Soul Army. And behind the captain, there are like a few lieutenants, and Rukia was supposed to be one, but she's so fucking weak. Like, what the fuck is up with that? So that thing just really, like, bugged me for the rest of the show, that this show is really inconsistent about power scaling. And, like, unworthy power up is what I would say. Other animes have this issue as well. For example, Dragon Ball Z. Like in the last movie, like Gohan gets this all of a sudden fucking power up out of nowhere, and he seemingly exceeds, long trained Goku and Vegeta in 1 second, despite him not training a single percent of what those two men were training for. Like that's just undeserved power. And the fucking Dragon Ball stands, like some fucking YouTubers try to make like reasons for Gohan's power up. It's just absurd. He doesn't deserve any more fucking power. He's not a fucking soldier anymore. So in Bleach, it's blatant, like especially the Rukia's case. Like Rukia is like in spotlight for a huge long time. Like literally the whole Soul Society arc was for Ichigo to save Rukia from execution, right? So she's the focus, she's the like meta focus, she's the second focus of the show, and her character is this much inconsistent when it comes to power scaling, which is upsetting. Then there is the problem that Naruto also has with the ending, I would say. I was really not satisfied by the way Bleach ended, at least in the main canon anime. The reason is because, like, first of all, so the problem, so I would name this problem as bad writing problem, okay? Bleach has a fucking, like, bad writing problem. And the reason is because, the major villain of this anime, Aizen, He's not like foreshadowed to be a villain at all. Like, no way in shape or form. All of a sudden, he comes out with this godly power to manipulate anyone in a like a fucking freaky degree. Like, you wouldn't fucking believe that it's impossible to like manipulate someone so much on broad daylight, and like literally everyone surrounding him is like fucking in a spell, you know. So Aizen gets revealed to be the main villain all of a sudden, because at the beginning of the show, Aizen was allegedly killed and he was like impaled on a fucking pillar, you know, tough shit. But like at the middle of the show, like there's this big reveal that no, Aizen is a super villain, blah blah blah. I really didn't feel Aizen to be that ominous or good of a villain. I can never complain Aizen's like whole character with Madara from Naruto. No way in hell he's a better character than Madara Uchiha. Like no way, no fucking way. So I don't know then what makes this anime better than Naruto. Like some people try to argue that. No, it's not. It's not better than Naruto in any way. Naruto has its problems, I agree. By the end of the show, Naruto like really becomes fucking like fucked up. But this show isn't any better. Like look at the fucking villains and heroes. Like, what is up? So bad writing is a consistent point at every point you're gonna like go in this anime. Really bad writing. Then you have power inconsistencies with the main character Ichigo. So when he gets to the Soul Society to rescue Rukia, he fights with fucking captains. Captains who go on later in the show defeating major foes. Like they're not weak, they're like super fucking strong. And especially when Ichigo faced off with them in the Soul Society balcony, literally, he didn't have like remotely the powers that he had by the end of the show. So it doesn't make any sense. Like what happened? What's happening? And Ichigo's thing, the like bad writing thing that I was talking about, is like the plot armor. Like the plot armor problem with Bleach is another problem that I should talk about. And the plot armor problem is that in Bleach, if you like have a handful of characters, for example Orihime or Chad or Rukia, you know these people are not gonna die. Like whatever happens, they are gonna return. So that shit, like that, like that armor that surrounds them throughout any arc is a plot armor. It's a bad writing choice or like failure of writing that you cannot make the story interesting without not killing off one of your beloved. Like in Naruto, at least some beloved characters die, right? Like a lot of characters which are loved by the fans die miserably, like sadly, whatever. But in Bleach, no one fucking dies. In Bleach, no character dies, literally. I don't remember a significant character dying in Bleach. Like in Naruto, fucking Neji from the beginning, dies. If you don't know that, Madara dies. Like the villain dies in a proper way. I'm not gonna say a proper way, but at least dies. That's the problem with Naruto. That fucking like Otsutsuki arc, fuck them. But a lot of beloved characters die, and we see them die. Naruto's fucking parents died, like blah blah blah. So that's like man. So and another problem with Ichigo's thing, like before every major enemy, he gets this chance to survive. For example, when he fought with um who was that dude, like that redhead dude, and he like literally gets cooked, and all of a sudden that cat comes out of nowhere, that like hidden pervert lady, and she saves him and like trains him for fucking Bankai. Like this kid, he hasn't been a Soul Reaper for like a year or so. comes out of nowhere to the Soul Society to save Rukia. Like, the whole narrative of Bleach is so childish that, like, out of nowhere you're going to the Soul Society, a place that you don't know, and you're gonna fucking save this girl. Like, how does someone come up with this shitty writing? Is what I'm like thinking. Like, it's so like far from reality. There's no way this is happening. Like, fuck. And Ichigo gets a power up, some sort of fucking training. Like, for example, by the end of the show, when he fights with Aizen for the first, like last time, he gets this training and some other like transition dimension between Earth and Soul Society, and he gets this ungodly power. Like, this power so powerful that it defeats a divine being like Aizen. Like, isn't that fucking crazy? And more shockingly, like, the plot armor is so strong around him that he gets his Soul Reaper powers back by the end of the show again, because all of the captains donate their powers for him. It's just a fucking joke. Like, all things considered, Bleach shouldn't be considered anything but a trash fucking anime. And I may sound like someone just putting his mask off and being like super evil when saying this, but yes, if you consider all the facts, Naruto, when I finished it, I feel more rewarded and fulfilled than anything close to this fucking anime. Like, fuck it. Bleach is trash. If you consider everything, like, it's trashier than trash, okay? It has all the issues that are shown in third class problematic anime. It has a lot of fillers, inconsistent power like changes, inconsistent power ups. It has bad writing problems. It has plot armor problem. Bleach has a major plot armor problem. Should I say it again? It has like you know so many issues. It has bad like villain development even. Like, for example, in Naruto, Madara is like foreshadowed to be this super evil guy from the very beginning of the show. You get Naruto versus Sasuke fight in the Valley of the End, I think is the name. And there you see the statue of Hashirama and fucking Madara. That dude was portrayed to be the coolest. Like, fuck. And the saddest thing is, I thought I was gonna be connected to Aizen so much, like the way I was connected to Madara or felt Madara. But in this anime, the writing is so horrible and the pacing and shit. By the end, like, you just end up not giving a fuck about Aizen or anything. That's what's up. So yeah, it was. If I got the fucking time machine, I would go back to the time where I didn't fucking watch Bleach. Like, fuck Bleach. Bleach is trash.